Yo, what's up, guys? I'm on Siesta. I know I said that the last video will be the last mentality video, but I realized that I really miss to make mentality videos. And I saw a lot of comments like saying me I shouldn't like leave this kind of topic theme. And I don't know, I just really miss that to do kind of those concepts and everything. So I realized that I'm gonna continue with that, and we'll see where the path will lead towards, because I have no idea what I want to do with this channel as a content. It's not like I'm not motivated to create. I don't know. I just like want to play. I just want to play the game, and that's it. So we'll see. If I have a really interesting concept I want to make a video about, I'm gonna do it. But I'm not gonna be like just as I said before, it's gonna be my last video. No, it's not gonna be my last video. So I want to keep continue with that. Now, in this we're gonna talk about, I think again, I would say for me the most important topic ever. Like how to perform. What's like the difference between donk and you, the donk and me. What's the real difference? Okay, I'm not gonna talk about aim routines. I'm not gonna talk about watching demos. I'm not gonna talk about have a haircut like him and stuff like this. Um, I'm gonna talk about the real deal, and that's mentality. Okay. Now, from my past experiences and everything, I was really like trying to figure it out. And now I realize something so important that just like changes the game. Okay. So again, we talk about it in the different other videos, but still it's gonna be a different view, right? So it's gonna be like a bit free flowy talk. So if you like those and you want to improve and you want to play like a donk, then watch this video till the end. Now the thing is, I need and I want, okay, and that's like the big deal, okay. So when we talk about CS, we talk about I need to win or I want to win, and that's a big difference. And a lot of people would say, I'm playing the game because I want to win. I'm playing the game because I want to like perform and I want to be like a good. But do you really? Aren't you like lying to yourself? Because a lot of times I caught myself just for some reason like trying, like needing to win, right? And there is like two worlds, right? And again, I would say like you have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. You can think about it that in your brain, like there is 10% of consciousness mind and rest of it, 90% is subconscious mind. So I'm gonna give you an example. If I say 2 plus 2, you immediately know is 4, or you should at least. um, and that immediate thing is like the subconscious storage, right? Immediately pops into your mind because it's automatic. If I don't know, go to like I will just like do like take a toothbrush, right, and do the thing. I'm not gonna be thinking, right? I'm just gonna be automatically doing it because again, I don't need to try, right? But when we have a conscious mind, there is three kind of aspects of conscious mind, and that's intellect, emotions, and ego. Okay. Intellect is the thoughts. It's our rationalizing and in general like thinking. So when I say like I'm gonna tell you like some really hard ones. So for example, 216 plus 56 or something like this. Then now you need to like really consciously think about what is the answer, right? Because you don't know the answer, right? So you're trying, right? That's normal. Emotions, that's the second thing. The second pillar in consciousness is fear, anger, happiness, sadness, whatever. And for example, if you have a fear, right? The fear is trying to alarm you, so you again are trying. Because when you're feeling fear, there is a certain danger, so you start trying. And I know this sounds really weird, but I'm gonna explain you. Because the third aspect is ego, right? Which is your identity. And you can think about that ego is using like a strings, and it uses our intellect and our emotions, okay? And so That's why you have the inner chatter in you. That's your ego just using the intellect. And that's why you have anxiety, because your ego is using the emotions. And ego is our protector, okay? The moment when we are born, we don't have ego, and that's why we don't have any struggles. That's why life is easy. That's why we are constantly flow stating, because we don't have ego. But when we are growing up, our ego takes control over us, right? And we like people are so much anxious and so much in their like head, in their thoughts, because they're controlled by who? By ego, right? And what is ego trying to do is our protector. It's not there like 24/7, no. But when you have like I don't know, when you are like in your room by yourself, there is no ego, right? But when you are in public speaking in front of 30 people or something, then there is an ego. Why? Because there in your past there was some negative experience that makes the ego remember it, like, oh yeah, in past this happened, so I need to protect you right now. And that's exactly the thing, right? So again, to go back to the thing that I was talking about, is that ego is trying, right? Ego is trying to protect us. That's why it's trying to control us. That's why it tries to control the environment. So when we really think about that, when you are saying 2 plus 2 immediately 4, you don't try. You don't need to try to think and stuff, right? And that's why the really good example to understand is consciousness, subconsciousness, because consciousness is trying and subconsciousness is not trying. Okay, I hope you get that. And so if you really think about that, then I need to win is conscious mind, right? Playing from a place of consciousness. And I want to win is a place from subconsciousness, because you just want to win, but that's it. You don't try, right? And that's the biggest difference right here, because um, the point is that, for example, when you're playing your game, right, you are telling to your team, okay, let's do this, like let's molly Brolan, let's take cave, let's go back, let's go. And now, for example, someone don't listen, you're mad at him. Now you're really thinking about your teammates. Now, for example, you're clutching, you're in your head like thinking about, oh, what they think about me now. I'm like under the pressure. I have intense, I have anxiety, I have fucking fear. This guy's crossing out, I'm shaken, like I cannot kill him. Those symptoms, they're fucking up your game. Why? Why are you stressing? Why are you have a fear? Why are you uh, are mad at your teammates? Why are you like need? Because you need to win. That's the thing. Like you need to win, right? Your ego is activated. It tries to control the environment. It tries to control you. That's why you have thoughts in your brain. That's why you have emotions while playing, because simply you're trying, right? And I'm gonna uh, show you the fix how to not try, because it's not as easy as you think, because I'm gonna explain it again. Because now we have the second opposite, and that's not trying, okay? And that's the opposite, that's playing from your subconscious. And a lot of people could say it as autopiloting, right? So you are either tryharding or you're autopiloting, right? So that means like you're just playing like this, you're rushing B, whatever. Like you're jumping like this, you're bunny hopping, you're doing whatever. Like you're trolling. Literally, you're trolling. You're playing with autopilot, right? And you're just playing. That's it. Like, right? Nothing, no motivation, nothing. You're just playing. And I'm gonna go into painting because I wanna show you something really important, and you're gonna understand it better. So, if you know, you probably definitely saw that, and that's a yin yang symbol. Okay, so I'm gonna draw it here. I hope you saw this symbol because this symbol is famous. Oops. Uh, Here. Nice. So this symbol is yin yang. Definitely you saw this. This half it calls yin, and this half it calls yang. Now, a lot of people are misunderstanding this symbol. They think that it represents two opposites, right? That we are living in a world that is like hot, cold, masculine, feminine, trying and not trying, which is true. But um, the real principle behind this symbol is that it shows us that we should combine both yin half and yang half together. So that's why there is like this wave in the middle. That's why it's not like a straight, but it's like this is a wave, right? And that wave is representing flow. Okay. So when you combine yin half and yang half and put it together, that's when you are flowing. And that's exactly um, what is the perfect combination for everything. How to live your life, how to play a game, how to perform, whatever. Everything in your life is the best thing to flow, right? Flow in it. And that's why you have a difference between Donk and you. Because Dong is playing from a place of flow, and you are playing from a place of Yang, most likely. Yang is trying, is a consciousness, is try harding. Yin is give up, autopilot, apathy, troll, whatever. Flow is where the elites are, okay? And that's it. It's really simple, but that's it. So if we right now go into that, so what house you want to combine together so you can be in a flow is to I want to win, and that's it. What it means is that you want to win. So let's say I'm gonna give you an example right now. I'm here in the doors, right, on B, on Ancient, and if I now we're gonna show the example. So if I'm Yin, if I'm the side that is autopiloting, what I'm gonna do is that, for example, I'm gonna just crouch here and just hold, and he's going out, and I don't know, just shoot like this. Like I'm looking at the ground, whatever. I'm autopiloting. I'm trolling. Okay. If I'm tryharding, I'm like just holding, like literal, like some off angle, like insane, like just line upping with this stone or something like this. And he comes out and I'm like tensing and stressing. Now I know this is like extreme, but you can see tryharding here, right? In that sense, so it's gonna be understandable for the example. But in a flow aspect, in I want to win, I don't need, but I want to win, is that because I want to win, I'm gonna jiggle, right? Because that's the meta. That's I'm gonna be harder to hit, right? If I'm just holding like this. And if I see him, I'm just gonna kill him. That's it. And that's like the thing. Like I'm just jiggling here. That's it. And I'm focused. I'm focused because I want to win. That's it. I want to win. That's why I'm leading my team. I want to win. That's why I'm not like I'm just not like doing like jumping like this and like trolling. No, I want to win. So for example, I jiggle. I don't see. I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna check long, nothing, and I'm gonna go with my gun out, not with my knife just running, but with my gun out and just just clear. But the second half of it is that you let go, you give up, and you are not trying. So you want to win, but you're not trying. And maybe for a lot of people, this can sound like a paradox because we are really conditioned to think that if you want something, you need to try. You need to like try hard, right? If I want to win, I need to try hard. I need to give it the best. But that's not how it works. If you want to win, you need to do the opposite. You need to not try. You need to let go. You need to give up. And when you combine those two halves of yin yang, that's when you're gonna go in flow. Because really think about it. If you think that this is like all woo-hoo mystical stuff, listen to this. So from a scientific perspective, how to get into flow state is by two things. First of all, you need to be engaged in an activity. You need to have a certain challenge, right? You need to be engaged, right? Immersed, right? And that's when you want to win, right? You want to win. That's your motivation, that's your challenge, that's your goal. And that's why we're focused. That's why we're focusing on these things, so we're engaged, right? When the game progresses, that's you're engaged. That's the first aspect. But second aspect is that you cannot go into flow state with ego. You cannot go into flow state with thoughts. You cannot go in flow state with a fear and anxiety and stuff like this, right? Tilting and stuff. That's why you need to stop trying. That's why you need to let go. And that's why you need to have the yin half as well. So that's from a scientific perspective. And when you have, that's why a flow state, like flow state is really like full tunnel vision, but you're so calm. That's exactly the two opposites combined together, and that's why it creates flow. So that's how it works. And that's why Donk, when you see his POV, like again, it's not only Donk, it's Kyosuke, Zaibu, Monesi, etc. Elites. That's why when Dong is speaking, he's not trolling. He's not like just running around like this with knife. No, he has a gun in hand. He's really like disciplined in that sense. But when he's speaking, he's so calm aim. That's why he's like can't one tap or something. Bro, like literally, think about it this way. If you're like tryharding this game, you're trying to go pro, whatever. Did you like? Are you even like one tapping in the game? For me, I never like one tap. Literally, like when I'm trying, I always go for the spray because I need to win. Like I'm trying, right? So I'm always going for the spray, and I don't just go out right here and I just one tap like this. Like I don't, because I'm tensing, right? So I'm like peeking and I'm spraying. I need to get a kill. Now advantage. Oh my god! I need to hide. I need to smoke. I need to play fucking back with the fucking fear. No, that's not how you should play. And that's it. I can talk about it for ages because I love this concept. I think this is the most important message for everyone that wants to just go pro, for everyone that's want to make it out and like want to like perform and enjoy the game, enjoy the process, and in general in life that's the same thing, right? It's literally the same thing. You want to win in life, right? You want to have the best life, you want to have the money, you want to have the opportunity, you want to have the career, whatever, but you're gonna not try, you're gonna let go, right? And that's it. That's the concept. That's my message. And again, I would say this is my last video, but I know it's not gonna be my last mentality video because I'm gonna keep doing videos. But if I'm gonna recommend one video, this is the one. This is the one, the final message, because I feel like this one is like the most important to understand. And if you understand and you apply this thing, because the first thing is to understand this concept, understand it, but the second thing is to applying, make an action towards it, right? The last thing that I want to talk about is how to actually let go, because that's the important thing. Because that's like my problem that I'm like getting into, and that's I understand this right now. But the problem is that when I try to let go, right? Um, Sometimes I have these ego thoughts, like I need to play, or sometimes I feel anxiety for no reason. Sometimes I have this thinking. Sometimes I am thinking I'm in clutch and I'm thinking what other people like think about me. Not consciously, but ego, like this inner chatter is in the background, right? And it's like I need to win, I need to do this and stuff. So if you still have those ego traps, I call it ego traps, you need to understand shadow work, which is you need to look into your past and really like talk with your shadow, like why are you trying, right? Like why, talk with your ego, like what is the part of me that tries, like why? And mostly is because of your past trauma, right? So for example, I don't know, in school you get rejected, right? Or you get bullied, or at home, I don't know, you were not enough, right? And in those things, like for you as a child, when you start to get like all the core beliefs and all the kind of like experiences together, so you can like work in this life, right? You, for example, assume because for you the home and school was everything. It was a world. You didn't look outside of the world. Um, in this sense, you rejected yourself because you think that okay, at home I'm not enough, and at school I'm not being good enough for some reason, right? And that's why you rejected yourself, and that's why you're trying, because you are playing the game out of place of scarcity, right? You're playing the game out of place of fear. Like the goal is to win, that's being good enough, but I'm not being good enough at my core, so I'm gonna throw the game, right? And I know this is like a silly example, but this is working like this. Like for example, I already talked about this. I'm just gonna say it like really briefly. I had a fear of not being good enough, and for me, pro status, being a pro, it's good enough, right? And that's why I was grinding. I was fully like committing, grinding, trying everything, try harding, right? But when I get into 3K Elo, which for me in my mind it was like there's already like really good players like semi-pros and stuff like this, then I just subconsciously, not consciously, but subconsciously because of my past trauma, I start to throw. I start to like throw the games. I start to have anxiety for no reason. I was queuing with fucking big anxiety playing with those people because I assume that I'm not being good enough at my core. If you introspect yourself, why are you trying to win? Why do you need to win? You introspect yourself and you know what is like the past trauma and the thing. Now you need to let go of it. So how you can let go of it is simply by re-experiencing the trauma. Because in that time you suppress the emotions, right? So now you need to go back to the time and re-experience the trauma. Release the emotional ammo in you that was just never hurt, right? Before. Because you try to like not be aware of it, right? Ego tries to hide it from you. And that's why it tries to like compensate and everything. So this is like a really long kind of thing, but I mentioned it in a previous video, so I don't want to like make this video so long. But this is like a brief thing. How can you let go of I need to win? And then when you let go of I need to win and you understand this concept, now you can apply this concept and it's gonna work, right? You're gonna hit the flow. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna be in a flow state 24/7. It means that the more you gave it a chance, the more you allow it, the more you're gonna get the flow state. Okay? And even if you don't get the flow state in a game, still gonna play fucking perfect. Think about it. You wanna win, you swing this guy, right? You know that you need to swing this guy. You're gonna swing him, you're gonna one-tap him. And now if you try, right? You're like scared, you don't know if you should peek, okay, you maybe flash. Now you peek like and you're like tensing a bit, like you don't trust yourself. You understand the difference. And because you're scared of what is gonna happen if you die. If you die now, oh my god, I lose the game. I'm bad. I'm not being good enough. They're gonna judge me, or um, we're gonna lose, right? Again, those things, thoughts, ego, everything. But if you want to win, right, and you need to kill this guy, you're making the right decision. And for example, you lose the fight here, which you could. You're okay with that. You just want to win. You play the game. It's again, we need to understand like you just want to win. That's it. You want. You don't need to. That's like so important to understand. Like you just play the game from a passion perspective, from a perspective of it's just a game, that's it. I want to win. It's like fucking playing the fucking card games at home with like your family or whatever with your friends. Um Bro, are you fucking playing the card games like oh my god, I need to like fucking win this, like they gonna judge me like if I'm gonna lose. Bro, you're just playing a card games. That's it. You're just fucking placing a cards. You are still wanting to win because it's fun, it's enjoyable, but you fucking give up, you let go, right? and and really think about it that this game is literally the same. There is zero difference from a card game than from this game. This is just a fucking FPS shooter game. It's literally the same. So treat it that way, please. Treat it fucking that way because um, we get so much because of our egos. We get so much sucked into this concept that this is like the life. This is like fucking serious, like a fucking mountain that we need to climb. Um, and and it's not like that. It's just a game. That's it. So yeah. I hope you get my message. I hope you get my point. Leave me comments down below. Some other concepts that you want to explore or like about this, like what do you think about this, if you're gonna apply this or just tell me your story or whatever. I'm gonna be really curious to see your comments. And yeah, have a nice day or nice night and see you next video, guys. Bye bye.